What's going on, you brokies? Dean here. Wanted to show you just a quick Landslide Tinker solo Paladin run. Shout out to Deece. I got this idea from somebody on YouTube named Deece. He runs a little bit different build than I do, a little bit different gear, and he's much better at it than I am. But I kind of figured out a way that it works for me, so I want to provide this information to anybody that would like to try this. So what we're doing is, like I said, Landslide Tinker solo runs is kind of a hybrid Protection Paladin build, and what we're going for is the Inventor's Focal Swords and the Fists of Stone. These two items disenchant into Large Brilliant Shards, and on our server, Wild Growth, they sell for anywhere from 35 to 60 gold, on average 40 gold. Inventor's Focal Sword is a 1 in 3 drop chance from Tinker, and Fist of Stone, I think, is like a 1 in 4. Realistically, you're looking at anything from 100 to 160 gold an hour on average, and if you really get lucky, you could maybe make 300 to 400 gold an hour. It just depends on the drop rate of these two. I have had hours where I just did Tinker and I got four of these swords in 1 hour. And then, of course, they do drop random blues that are ranging from anywhere from a gold to 2.5 gold, 2 gold 26. And then you do get some random stone drops, things of that nature. Like I said, 110, 120, upwards of like 200 plus gold an hour solo paladin. So, first thing we're doing, the runes. We run Improved Sanctuary. You can snapshot Sanctuary and switch over to things such as Fanaticism for the bosses, which gives you an additional 18% holy crit chance, which is huge for your damage and healing. And then, of course, Martyrdom. Martyrdom's cool, I guess. Something like that. And then Hammer of Righteousness. You've got your Crusader Strike, the overpowered Sheath, and then I like to run Avenger's Shield, and then a must is you're going to be running. Let's get down to it. Sacred Shield here. Sacred Shield's just super OP for the heals. You will be healing a lot, and it does help quite a bit with that extra damage absorption. Spec wise, we're running 11 for Divine Strength, Spiritual Focus, Consecration, and then 30 for your Imp Devotion Aura. Read out the ever so great Toughness, huge for mitigation. I do run Precision, and then Reckoning, One-Handed Spec, and Blessing of Sanctuary. Gear wise, we're going to run Knight Lieutenant's Llama gear. For those of you that don't have Knight Lieutenants, get good, go do some PvP. The strength, stamina, intellect, and the spell power is excellent. And then I'm running Fist of the Forsaken, which has recently been upgraded in ST to a 1.4 speed attack weapon that does 39 life from target on hit, or chance on hit, excuse me, which does scale with 10% of your spell power. So that 39 turns into like 170, 169 on average. Huge for healing throughput and actually does a decent amount of damage. Hakari's Witch Doctor Guard for that extra spell power. And I am running a mailed belt here for the crit chance and the spell power. So I'm very spell power heavy. Everything I'm running has spell power on it for the most part outside of Fist of the Forsaken. Great for sustain, huge for your damage. Overall, you can't go wrong. Let's get right into it. I'll be doing this in real time, so it might be a clusterfuck, but it isn't that hard. You can do this usually in about 12 minutes, both bosses. Let's do it. Pretty easy run past on the Dragon Boys here, the Hydras. Basically want to avoid these as much as you can, and then once we get up to the opening, we're going to be strafing the wall and wall jumping in hopes of either completely avoiding any of the mobs in this area or to bug them out to some degree. So you got your subterranean Demastrodons, or whatever you want to call them. I did pull these ones. If you jump this wall and strafe it, you can see that, oh, well, that doesn't normally happen. Like I said, I'm kind of running this off the cuff. This is not scripted, go figure. You can slow them down with Avenger's Shield. And then we're going to get to our first safe spot. So you're going to jump on the rocks here and wait it out. Generally, I'm not getting hit by this sonic burst. Hopefully they bug out and go back to where they came from. Generally, you're going to get here, let the rocks pass. Ah, perfect. Then we move on to our next safe spot. I like to stun this first one. Then coming up on this next group, hit him with an Avenger Shield. Hopefully you don't get dazed. If you're real fancy, you do like a strafe side jump and then you don't get dazed ever. I'm not that good. Coming up on the wall, we're going to do the easy jump. Sometimes you miss that, you fall back down. You have to do it a couple times. As you can see, they are bugged out. Wait this out for 5-10 seconds. Heal up if you need to. Get a drink of your beer. Ask yourself why you play this game. What the hell do you need 2,000 gold for? I don't really know. The next part, we're going up to Landslide here, so this is where it gets a little tricky. We're going to want to bypass as many mobs as possible. Usually these guys are coming down as I'm going up. We should be able to run past this primordial behemoth without aggroing. There is a safe spot. I don't think I'm going to need to use it this time. Maybe I will show you guys that in a different video. Ideally, you run past this boy over here without pulling, so we're in good shape. And now we're going to try to outrun these guys. This outcrop to my right is the safe spot, so you would jump down here and reset if you pulled any of those. This is where it gets a little tricky. To bypass this guy on my right, we're going to jump into here and try to jump backwards out of it. Wow, I did that for the first time ever in one shot. That takes some time. Alright, so we have made it over to Landside. A couple of very important things to do is pop your improved sank back on as a rune, refresh, turn on fanaticism, and then the next most important thing to do is to turn on concentration aura, excuse me. I messed this up actually while I was making the last clip, and I died very handily. Without concentration aura, you cannot heal through his minions. You just can't do it. He kicks your ass severely. So I like to buff up, get some drinking down, and then we're going to go into it. So the big thing is you want to position him for the knockbacks. It's very important that you position him for the knockbacks. It gives you a buffer time to heal. If you do not, I mean, it's not a big deal, but having that extra time to heal is extremely important, particularly when he has double adds out, and you want to dump as much DPS into him as possible. So there's that knockback. We're going to get some heals in, kind of try to position him, getting ready for his first set of adds. Here they come. This is very healing intensive. There will be times where you're going to have to just spam yourself, otherwise you will not survive. And make sure you keep your, I keep forgetting what that's called, Sacred Shield up. If you do not keep Sacred Shield up, you're not going to do nearly as much healing as you could due to the extra 50% critical strike chance on Flash of Light. So I'm just going to run through this one and probably shut up from here on out, because if I keep talking, I'm going to distract myself and I will probably die. Like I said, positioning for the knockbacks, trying to do as much AoE as you can without starving yourself on mana, which can happen. As you can see, old Landslide himself has quite a bit less health than Tinkerer. He goes down fairly quick. Reapply Sacred Shield. Just try not to die. Oh, and I'm stunned. These guys don't hit very hard, it's just more when they're in a huge pack. Seems kind of intimidating at first. Once you get your groove, it's really not that hard. Reposition. We're almost there, almost home free. And that's that. That's the fight. Pretty easy. We did not get a Fist of Stone that time, sadly. But that's just how it goes. Like I said, kind of like a 1 in 4 chance. Generally, you will see between 3 to 4 Fists of Stones and Inventor's Focal Blade an hour if you're doing both of them. As you saw there, I just jumped down the hill. You do not die. It's kind of the same area where we bugged out the Mastodons or whatever, and then we're gonna go to our left here and kind of play the same game. Bug out the snakes with the wall. Pretty non-threatening. But the big thing now is we want to watch for the paths, so the rock path. So we got one rock path to our left, that's putting us in good shape. And then there's another rock path that actually goes into Tinkerer's area that we want to watch for. That's a safe spot that I just jumped on and jumped down. You don't need to hang out if there isn't any rock paths in front of you. Avenger Shield, just slow him down. Now this is the next jump spot, safe spot. Can be a little tricky to net sometimes. You might have to redo that one a couple times, but if you rewind the video and watch that again, I've kind of gotten it down to a science. Every now and then I'll jump up and slide down. You just basically have to come back out to where they're at, run back forward, and try again. The next big pad are these guys to my left, these Guardians. You do not want to run in there while they're downstairs. If they're with Tinker to our right in the cave, they will aggro, you will die, there's nothing to do about it. So let them come out, and now we're ready for Tinker. I like to get ready, mana up again, and we're almost home free. Tinker is not a hard fight. He's just got more HP, does a little bit more damage. Switch to Fire Resistance Aura. As you can see, we have enough time. Our Blessing is sank. We're going to use Wisdom and Martyrdom, just like for Landslide. Pull, stick your ass in this corner right here, and basically heal yourself through the damage and try to maximize your DPS as much as you possibly can. Remembering to keep Sacred Shield up because his Fire Breath, as you see, is kind of the main damage dealer. Good time to heal in between. From here, it's just a tank and spank. Nothing too crazy. Pretty simple. Kind of boring, honestly. Once you get it down, once you get the pathing down, kind of figure out what works for you, you can very easily accomplish this in under, 5 runs in under an hour. I will create a video for just a solo Tinker run. If you're running low on time and you like to just get it done quickly, you can do Tinker in about 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes, I would say. You easily hit the lockout with, 10 to 12 minutes to go. But I have done solo Tinker runs where I've probably made 180 gold in an hour just by getting lucky. So it's not completely impossible. I've also had solo Tinker runs where I didn't get any Inventor's Focal Blades and I made basically nothing, like 10, 12 gold in that hour, so. I have no doubt that there's other ways to do this, different gear sets that you can do this in. I've just found that this is quite possibly the most comfortable and easiest way to go about it, at least for me. I like to lower my chances of dying. Running back just drives me crazy. And we did not get lucky. To get out of here, you turn left, and then we basically just run past these boars, kind of following the same guidelines we've followed throughout the rest of the video, running against the wall. Like I said, if you're real good, you can do like a fancy strafe jump. I just jump the wall and follow from left to right to left. What we're trying to get to is the water where Rot Grip is at. Sometimes you'll run into the rock pat right here. If you do, you can always Divine Shield. I didn't have the necessity to do that, but you want to check to make sure Rot Grip is not underneath you. If he is, you're gonna die for sure. He hits like a truck. Log out, and then it resets us to the beginning of the purple area where we just follow the same path, come back out, reset, head over to the portal zone, and start all over again. Alright, as simple as that. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I do plan on making just a tinker run, solo tinker run video. Like I said, if you're short on time and you're looking to make decent gold, solo tinker is still a great viable option. I found that landslide can help quite a bit in terms of gold over hour. Like you have basically twice the chance to get a large brilliant shard, but I found that also if not done correctly or if timed him poorly, it can just be a huge pain in the ass. Whereas Tinker is just a one and done. Like you get to Tinker real quick, knock him down, get out, do it again. I will be making that video again here pretty shortly. So thanks guys. Talk to you later.